Here it is, the Honor 9X. Is this a budget device? Is this a mid-range device? It's got a brand new Kirin 810 processor and a big screen. It starts at $1399. That's the Chinese price. You only get 4 gigs of RAM though. Maybe you want to go $1599 for the 6GB version. Then you get the Pro version, which is a bit more expensive still, around about 2,000 RMB. Same processor, extra camera, and that cooling system for gaming. Anyway, let's see what the 9X. You do also get the 9X Pro, which adds an extra camera and a cooling system to help keep the processor cool. But this phone has the same brand new 810 processor. This is going to be used in a lot of Huawei phones and a lot more expensive Huawei phones. The case is kind of sticky on the inside, so it's going to be really secure around your phone. It comes with 10-watt charging. It's a little bit underclubbed, even for the low price point. It might put off some people, it might not be an issue for others. Of course, it comes with USB-C, an absolute must no matter what the price tag these days. It's a big phone, it's on the heavier side, but it's not heavy. You get a big screen and it's a good design overall. The color scheme is nice and subtle, and you can just see you get this sort of X-like effect on the back there. The blue actually is really subtle. You can't really see the X or the shine in every light situation. Just when it hits the light, just right, you can see there's that X, obviously because it's the 9X. The headphone jack is on the bottom of the device too, which I think is the best place to have it. So you can put it in your pocket, still have the line out of your pocket listening to music. And also the edge or the bezels around the device have this really cool matte finish, which I haven't seen in a lot of other phones. Actually looks really good and it feels nice as well. So props to Honor for using that design. I've not seen that in many other phones. And here it is compared to the K20, which I think is a big rival for this phone. Definitely this one and also the Pro version. Different types of design. Which one you like is obviously going to be down to your personal preference. But the 9X is definitely bigger and a little bit thicker than the Redmi K20. But it does have a bigger screen too. The bezels are small. I don't think any phone in this day and age can really have big bezels without just being a total flop. That bottom bezel, again, not the biggest, not the smallest. And on the right hand side, you get the power button, which is also the fingerprint sensor and the volume rockers. The 6.6 inch screen, which is on the bigger side for sure, uses an LCD display, but look at these colors. It's a really good looking display. You know, I've got to say, having an LCD screen on this, it puts you off. When you see it on the specs sheet, you think, oh, well, there's other phones in the price bracket that have OLED screens. But, you know, actually using it in real life, looking at this screen, I can't really say that it's a bad screen or that it's somehow inferior. It just looks good. I can't really say using it that it's really so much worse than an OLED screen. Of course, on the spec sheet, I would like OLED, but not having it, I don't think it's a big detractor to the phone. Also, because it's a Huawei, you do get those really good screen options. You can change from HD to full HD, which is going to save a lot of battery, or you can just let it choose for you, which again is going to save battery. So actually in the real world, I'm not sure there's that much of a difference, not at this level. You can record in 720 or 1080p from that front camera. You also have some modes where you can change the lighting effects too. So the 16 megapixel selfie camera is housed in a pop-up there. Not the quickest, not the slowest pop-up. It's fine, it works. Now, Huawei do tend to over-sharpen images a little bit. There's beauty modes that you can use, of course. It does the job. I mean, looking at the screen now, it's absolutely fine. The audio quality on Huawei's are usually a little bit better than the competition. And the images you get out of it, it's a selfie camera and it's going to be subjective anyway. I've got to be honest, on the screen, it does look really, really decent. It looks to be lighting my face well. So we'll have to see how that looks in the video. Anyway, let's go on to the back camera. I'm not sure if the global version will have EMUI or Magic UI. EMUI is Huawei's software and this isn't on a phone. Anyway, mainland China is different. You get portrait modes and photo mode. You can zoom in up to 10 times, but remember that's all digital zoom. It just has one camera at the back there. You can also use these built-in filters. They're pretty heavy, I must admit. You can probably just use Instagram, it's better than this. It's 48 megapixel sensor, but it takes 12 megapixel images as standard, as you can see. You can toggle it as you like. You also get all the normal camera functions that you would expect on any phone. When it comes to video, you can record in 1080p up to 60 frames a second. But there's no 4K recording on the phone. I assume the processor has the capability, but for one reason or another, it's not able to do it at the moment. That may come in a software update down the road. Typical Huawei colors. If you've had a Huawei before, or you're familiar with the way Huawei sort of take images, it looks very, very similar. This is really good. This is just taken on the 12 megapixel because it uses 12 megapixel images as standard, not 48 megapixel. But look, it looks clear, it looks good, and I like the colors. So yeah, I really like the camera. I would say zooming in, this is 10 times zoomed in and it's all digital crop. There is a little bit of noise there, but it's a little bit unfair. 10 times zoomed in on that sensor on any phone really is gonna look pretty much like this. You can just see that beauty mode there. Look at my face, like it's been smoothed out and it definitely doesn't look like that. I have more spots than that today. So yeah, the beauty mode you can turn off, but it always does keep a little bit of beauty mode. This is one of the portrait modes. I don't think it did a great job here, but luckily that's just not something I'm really ever gonna use. And onto the night mode. So this is just in normal studio lighting, both lights turned on. This is one of the lights turned off. You can see the shadows are a bit different, but they look more or less the same. There's not really too much noise here. Then this is both lights turned off. There's just a little bit of light coming in from the window, although it is blacked out. It looks okay, and then we'll just go to night mode, which you can see does help it a lot. This is very much like a lot of Huawei devices in the way it looks. It's a decent job. Obviously, more expensive phones are going to do a better job. But I think as night mode goes, especially for this price range, I think it's decent. If you want to see more pictures taken by this phone, pictures of this phone and compared to other phones, go check out my Instagram and my Twitter. They'll all be on there. I haven't used too many phones with a side-mounted fingerprint sensor. Because the screen is LCD, you just can't put it under the screen yet. It's not commercially viable technology as yet, but it could be coming in the future. It is so quick. I just did a pickup test. Look at that. It's on before you even pick the phone up. This is ridiculously quick. Like, I'm actually a little bit shocked at how quick this thing unlocks and also how convenient it is. I've always supported under screen fingerprint sensors. I've always thought that's the best place to have it because that's where my thumb goes. But this thing is unbelievably quick. You just tap it and it's there. I think this is the first time I've actually used a side fingerprint sensor, and that is just mind-blowing. Look, bang. That is quick, and I totally don't mind it being on the side. It's okay, it's good, it's loud enough and it's clear, but there's not a lot of bass. Very, very little low end from the music. That's quite bassy, that song, but it didn't pick it up. It's a mono speaker. I would say it's very decent, it's fine, lacking in a little bit of bass, but again, for the price range, I think it's alright. I think Honor have done a great job for the price. I know what you're thinking, 10-watt charging, LCD screen. Yeah, but you know when you use the phone, those things just fade away. That screen is really good and it's not even different to the OLEDs down at this price level. Yes, OLED is technically better, but you just forget about that when you're using the phone. This side-mounted fingerprint sensor is a really big shock for me. It's quick and really convenient. And that charging, 10 watt isn't the best, but at this price range, you do give up a few things here and there. And I guess that's one of the things we have to give up this time.